Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to the final hour. A little bit of exciting trade action today. Markets have basically spent the entire day pulling back to the initial gap that was created on the CPI reaction. That news was not good. I don't know how you slice this up, how you put how you sugarcoat this, but U.S. inflation is hotter. Year over year, headline CPI was higher, core CPI higher, monthly higher, yearly higher. I don't know how the market spins this and said this is good. We are seeing the Fed rates getting kicked down the road once again. Let's discuss everything today. Go ahead and say hi. Everything's going to be loud and clear. I just had a chart alarm go off on Upstart. This is the trade I took in for one of my services, my newsbreaker service, and I'm going to do a quick spot check on that price right now. I might end up taking a small profit on this one. $1.34 turned into 204. I'm going to take some profit on that one. My 1523 should be trading. Cool. I'm going to do a quick update here. Anybody that's in the service, news breakers, trade management, update, Upstart, closing all positions, entry for 1223 debit, closed for 1523 debit, now trading at 15.770 credit or higher. Entry for 234 or 134. See if I can close this bad boy out for, let's go 214. I'm going to try to get lucky on this trade. 214 not filling. How about a 210? A little bit of generosity, just a little bit of generosity. 204. Fudge. Let me take be 66 cents if I mean the mid price 221, man. Let's go. Let me try to get $2 out of this. You dirty dog. All right. We're trading at 90 and change. Let me try to get, I'm going to put in a 2 dot. I'll put the 234 back in again. I've got $5 and change of wiggle room. Excuse me. So I'm going to put the 234 in right here. Pending close for 2.34. Not filled yet. All right, so getting that updated. I'll keep an eye on that one for the time being. All right, so nice little surge there. I need this to stay above 85. Set a chart alarm here. 85, as long as it's here by the end of the week, we should be looking pretty good on that one. Nice little volatility expansion expected, and we're getting it. Micro strategy, hopefully also going to deal with some volatility expansion one way or the other. Let's look at Shopify, hanging out near these all-time highs. DoorDash, big indecision candle. I'm looking for a push one way or the other for the rest of the month. AppLovin has earnings after market today. Roku has earnings this week. Twilio has earnings this week. Playing a couple of these trades here. I actually did take a trade on Twilio, and then TTD as the trade desk took a trade on this one as well. So I'll be keeping a close eye on those. Go back to the chat here. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Markets today. So we are looking at pretty much a noisy day. I mean, little surprising that the market was still as contained as it shows here. If we go to some real-time flows, we came right down, gapped into the 6,000 area on the SPX, and we have not quite come back to fill the gap, but pretty darn close. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I mean, one thing I would look for would be something like this structure-wise. If this market ends up breaking with another gap tomorrow, then we have more pressure on this inflation situation. Nice, Daniel. Good trading. Good trading. Dr. Barnes, you? Good to see you. Oliver, good to see you. Good stuff. For the day, I had a pretty big swing in P&L. I was down about $12,000 earlier this morning, now up about 10.8, just off the all-time highs, which isn't bad. Still have some income trades. Had a nice little winner on SPX today, closing out a winner on Upstart today. We've got a couple more trades to line up. And yeah, let me have a look at my expirations here. Let's go DTE. So I've got SPY trade, 2 days to expiration, 555, 550. This should be something in line with, let me check on this one real quick. February, what are my 14th expirations? So 550, 555. Oh, this actually, fudge, man, this should be good. So I have an Iron Condor that expires Friday. This is looking good for full profit. How did I not close this trade out? Is this still trading for? What the heck, man? I got into this trade here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see what I got in this trade for. I think I got this trade for like 50 plus cents. So minus 2.2, plus 2.59, plus 2.21, minus 1.35. So I got it for $1.22, and this is trading for 4 cents. So I'm going to try to close this trade out. That is a nice little winner. Let's go to 5 cents here. Ask price is 6. Come on. All right, so $1.22 closed out for 5 cents. So that's not too bad. That would be $1.17 out of a max 122. Just made 95.9% of that profit. That's a good little trade. Take that one down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing here. Closing out for 5 cents. One, 2, 3, 4. Closing out for 5 cents. Oh, come on. Be generous, tasty trade. Let's go. 6 cents. Fill that 5 cents. That's good. Next up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Closing this out. 5 cents. Filled at 5. Okay, this is a, excuse me, 6.15. Okay. This one is looking good. All right, positions here. Closed out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Closing 5 cents. Filled. Nice little grabber there. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4. Managing some trades. This is what happens. This is what you do all single day. All day, every day. Managing profits. Not a bad thing. Try to get 6 cents. Fill me at 5. I like it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 cents. Not filling, but I'll put in 6 cents and try to get filled at 5. I'm going to let that one marinate. Come on, man. 6 cents. You can't fill me at 6 cents. You got to fill me there. Bid price is 2. Mid is 4. Putting in a 6 cent. That's the ask. Come on. Give me 1 second. I guess I'll try 7 cents and take $1.15 out of the $1.25. It's still filled at 5 cents. Weird. Well, I mean, I'll take the fill, obviously. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close. Filled at 5 cents. That's good. This is a cash account. Okay, so we are good. I'm just going to make a note here. Is anybody in my daily profit play service? If so, I'm just going to post a question in Telegram. Daily profit play. Is anybody in the following trade? It was a 214, so SPY 214 expiration, 615 by 620, and a 555 by 550 bull put. So $1.22 credit, close for 5 cents debit. So that's a nice little win. $1.17 profit per contract. So this was one that I would have taken. That trade would have been open. So if I go back into that position here, that trade's been open for 40 days. So we probably took this trade back in the beginning of the year when we had some early volatility, put on some of those wide sell trades, wide sell premium, and ended up grabbing some profit there. Okay, now I'm going to take a look and see what other expirations I have. So let me go DTE again, all accounts, Amazon. I have an earnings play there, and some ratio spreads. Qualcomm have an earnings play there. Disney have an earnings play there. Microsoft. What do I have in Microsoft? Feb 21st. So no pressing. 370. That's a ratio spread for profit. That one's looking pretty good for about $300. IBIT trading at 55. Holy shnikes. IBIT exposure up about 37K and hopefully more to go. I added some additional income trades here with IBIT. Tesla, we're at 345. I did end up scooping up some shares at 362. Bought some partials. Bought a few more shares. So I've got a trade price and break even around 390. I've got other trades in the 285s. Did a bunch of ratio spreads on Tesla. So I still need to work back through a little bit of a drawdown on Tesla, but no big deal. Intel bought some shares up around $2,600. The stock's actually looking much better. Hopefully we'll get into the mid 20s. I'm looking at a price target around $26 or $28. So it'll be right here. Any positions on Boeing? So Boeing, BA, I did not add anything else to it. I took a little trade on Boeing. I actually got a pretty good fill here. I got filled at $150 and I had levels. So I was going to trade one level at 150 and then a second level at 125. I took profit on this first run. So we bounced hard at 150, got all the way back to 175, 180. I just took the shares off and I'm out of the position. So I'm not in Boeing right now. I still think this is a pretty solid support zone. I could see this area acting as some type of head and shoulders trade, but I'm looking for some type of accumulation, maybe another push back up into the range highs. Personally, though, I would love to get some of this trade down here in like the 120 to 100 zone. So like a 125 entry and like maybe a 95 entry. If I just dollar cost average in there, I think that's a good spot to be buying really good support. So that's all I have. I'm not in the trade any longer. I took it from 150 to 176 or 178, closed out for profit. That was in Q4 last year to book some of those gains. JD Sports. I don't know what JD Sports is. There's JD period. Is that the ticker for that? That's a UK stock. I've never even looked at this one. I've traded JD, which is a China ADR. I'm in JD.com with some shares. We're trading at 39. I've got a cover call at 39. JD Sports. I have not looked at this trade at 87. The only thing I would consider is maybe if we came back in close to this COVID low, then it's a pretty attractive price. Otherwise, there's a reason this stock is dropping. So there's a decent case for some support, but if I'm going to get really picky, I'd say see if it comes back down to the COVID low. If it comes off a COVID low and there's some value to it and the company makes money and it looks good fundamentally, then that's a good price to trade it. But other than that, probably not. You talking JD Inc. like the China ticker? All right. Sorry, hang on 1 second. All right. Gotta love getting sick. JD.com. Yeah. So I'm still in this trade. I have some shares. I've lowered the cost basis down to like 35.92. This is the trade that I'm in. I have a collar trade, so it's protected the downside. This is out through the end of the month. So we have earnings early March on JD. This is JD.com. So if it stays above 39, I get it called away. I make $3.08 a share. I have like 2,000 shares of it, so I get a nice little chunk of profit. I also will continue to work the cost basis down. If I'm coming into expiration and it's not going to get called away, then I'll probably roll it out through earnings and try to get another 50 cents to $1 on the trade, increase my bottom line for whatever I can grab. Give me 1 second. Okay, so that is JD. Let's see. I've taken a put credit spread on JD, bull debit on BA. Got it. So you're looking at a bull call spread and then a put spread on JD. Yeah, I like those. I like those trades. I'm letting Alibaba run, hopefully with no upside cap. So right now, this stock continues to even. This is kind of wild price action. So we're up, pullback, up with a green close, up, pullback. I mean, this has been a nice run. Alibaba. I'm glad I don't have any covered calls in this one. So let's go to Alibaba. Right now, Alibaba's up around $7,500, and this is probably within the last couple of weeks. So I don't really have as much shares as I wanted. I have some income trades. I got some ratio spreads. All these looking good. But I'm going to let this one run. I think that now that we're above this high, any type of pullback and bull flag, I've got measured moves up into 130. AI is become like a buzzword for Alibaba, and you can see that this market started to run with it. So, a beat up tech stock is up 49% from this recent low that was back in January actually. So, I mean, in the last month, this thing's up almost 50%. It's hard to find a stock in the U.S. that's doing the same thing. So I've got a couple dollar cost averaging levels. I've got a bunch of ratio spreads near these lows. I've got a bunch of credit spreads as well. So all in all, it adds up pretty nicely. Obviously, I wish I was heavier on the share side, but it is what it is. Baidu is at 93. We keep going back and forth in this one too. I like the structure here. Okay, Upstart. I put it in the ticker. UPST. It's in the alert, Joe. It's in the alert. I just posted it. UPST closing all positions. So I've got Upstart right here. My 134 debit is trading for about two. Let me see if I can get out of here if I close it for $2. I've got a pending close at 234 that hasn't been filled yet. So let me see if I can get out of here for $2. If that's the case, I'll still take the profit. Otherwise, I'll let it do its thing. $2 not filling. If it's not filling, then I'm just going to go back to $2.34. Because the reality is I have value built into this trade. I mean, we need price to stay above 85. It's at 89.65. If price stays up here, elevated around $89 to $90, time works in our favor on that debit spread, and we'll get that credit to be closer to full. So max profit on that thing would be $3, and I'm in for $1.34. So if I end up, waiting for the full $3 expiration, I can turn that into 100% plus gain, right? So if I close out for $3 minus the $1.34, I make 166. I turn it into 123% gain. So, but what do I need to have happen? I need price to stay above $85 by close. Okay, let me look at it. It should. I mean, I typed it in the chat. They get sent out by the team, so I know what I posted. If they didn't post UPST, then let me double check it. I'll log in right now. Baidu has earnings. Yeah. I mean, I like, look, I've been long China probably early. I get in way too early. I was getting long China over here. When we had this structure, I was getting long China here, and it's been a long, annoying road of, some winning credit spreads, some losing credit spreads. Then I started getting a little bit smarter, putting ratio spreads down here. Those paid out really nicely. Then I had a nice rip in September for a good gain. I protected some of that profit, loaded back up again. I mean, this stock, if we get a breakout here, this stock has so much room to run. I mean, this is a 5-period yearly moving average, and this up here towards 157. This is actually my price target. So, I mean, I'm long Baidu, and I've got it covered right now to $100 and $105. But if I can get this out of the way, look, I might get stuck and I might have to roll it and try to get a little bit a profit. But if this thing runs in any way like Alibaba's running, I do not want to get in the way. This type of price appreciation could be so drastic that I could get a trade with a break even around like $85 and nearly make 100% on that thing. So I would certainly take it. I've got anywhere between 100 to 200 shares per account. So there's probably close to 1,000 shares running on Baidu. So if I hit my profit target, that's going to be a pretty fat chunk of profit this year. That could be close to like 80 grand. All right, I'm gonna get logged in right now. Okay, give me a second. So where is my? Jeez, oh Pete's, man, what the hell? So just so you know, should be pulver.chris. All right, I'm looking at it here. Waterfall, double up alerts, all good, all good. Okay, so I'm gonna have the team check it. You see it now? Okay. Does it say UPST? It should. Usually they just copy and paste the alert that I post. So UPST is the ticker, closing all positions. I took 2 trades on Upstart. One of them I closed out for $3 profit, and it's actually trading for more than that right now. So you can grab probably 350, 320, or 375 or so in profit. The other one, I'm going to let that one marinate a little bit longer. Try to get that one over $2 by tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on that one for tomorrow. Okay, you good? Okay, got it. All right. Let me see here. I like Alibaba. I like Baidu. FXI also getting some fresh highs. I had quite a position on FXI going into last September. That one paid out really nicely. I did reload at the 50% zone, so we had this last little pop. I did take some profit on FXI as well. I'm not in the stock any longer. Another way to trade this with China Tech could be CQQQ. Let me see here. This one probably won't offer the premium that I want, but maybe a I don't know. This could be risky. CQQQ. Hard to borrow. All right. I don't want. I'm curious what the buying power is in this one. We only have monthly options. That's not great. Premiums are garbage. So yeah, I'm not going to trade. I was thinking of doing like a put at 36 or something. I'm not going to take that trade. FXI is not too bad. I mean, look, Alibaba I like better. Baidu I like better. JD is totally fine. Different spaces though. JD is like I mean, it's basically an online retailer, right? And then Baba Baidu, that's your like Amazon and Google of China. So um, as far as the tech play goes, Alibaba is crushing it right now, and we'll see if Baidu can also get a little catch up trade. We get above this 95, 96 zone. I think this gets some open space to revisit the highs back in September. That's a really nice run. If we have a run here, I mean, it's nice to look at a stock and think you've got a realistic 23% upside. And what's even better is you zoom out and you have this potential double bottom formation. And if we're getting a run to the upside with some momentum, getting a stock that can run potentially up, 65%, even more exciting. Like I said, there's not a single stock in the US right now that I would say this is my upside at 60 plus percent. I mean, if Bitcoin did 25 to 50% this year, I'd be thrilled. If the indexes somehow carve out, 10% this year, I'd be ecstatic. I don't know if we're going to get that. We've had these crazy high valuations. Historically, it's getting a little frothy, if you will. And also take a look at your, 10-year yield. We had inflation news today. So, I mean, look at the rip on this 10-year yield. I mean, we went from a 4.4, just pivoted hard at 4.63. Telling you, man, this market, this bond market, these yields are telling us inflation is higher, inflation is stickier. It's not going away. If the Fed wants to get to 2%, they probably should be raising rates, which is not going to be a good thing. Now, the reality is they're not going to raise rates unless they absolutely have to, like something's going to have to break in order for them to say, look, okay, inflation is now priority number one. We got to raise rates. That's going to be a reactive policy, and it's going to destroy things. It'll destroy the market if they have to raise rates and basically backpedal on their policy maneuvers last year. But what is shifting though is everything that the Fed is saying into the markets is now getting priced into later and later dates. So right now, this is showing probabilities that we are not going to have a rate cut by the Fed until October. It was June early this year, and then it got pushed to July, and now it's being pushed to October, right? And by the way, even that October forecast is not even that great because it's 40.8% probability of a cut with a 37.6% probability of no cut. So it's barely carving out a little bit of an edge that they'd be cutting by either October or December by the end of the year. But it's like one cut if we're lucky. I think the Fed would be very lucky this year if they can still get in a cut and not break the market, or if they can just hold rates the same and not have to cut, or not have to raise rather, and basically pivot backwards with what everyone was pissed at them about last year in September. When look, everyone is saying this needs to be an emergency cut. They need to cut 50 to 75 basis points, and at the same time, people were like they shouldn't be cutting at all. Nobody was happy with the Fed last year. Markets didn't really care. The market still got to all-time highs through December. We had a crazy run up in Mag 7, got highly concentrated by the end of the year, and then we had a ton of volatility, and we've still had a ton of volatility to kick off this first part of the year. Okay, so that's where we're at, and here is the inflation data for today. So your headline CPI, there it is. So we printed 3%, and the forecast was, so this is headline CPI, not core. So they forecasted 2.9. Previous was 2.9. They came in 3%. That's the yearly CPI. I also paid attention. This is an important one here. The core CPI, previous was 3.2. It was forecast for 3.1 to be an improvement, and it was not. It came in 3.3. So higher than previous, also 0.2 higher than forecast. And somehow the market's like, we're just going to go back and fill this gap. The market gapped down about 0.7% and decided it's going to spend the entire day pulling back. So we're right back in the middle. We have PPI data tomorrow. I don't really know what else to look at outside of we're still in just a bunch of indecisive territory. This to me is concerning, right? Inflation going higher, yields going higher. This is not a good thing. I think that all-time highs are going to be very difficult to come by. Like stocks that have made all-time highs that are still going to all-time highs. I think if this continues to go higher, it's going to put a lot of pressure on the overall markets. So if we see, Mag 7 is going to plateau with growth and possibly start to decline, if just this gets harder and harder to see the forest through the trees, so to speak, I just don't see this being a good sign. So anyway, something to watch for. This has been on my list since Q4 last year as one of the bigger macro events in 2025 is what are bond yields telling us? Well, they're telling us basically the Fed is wrong. That's what the bond market is telling us. That's what the yields are telling us. The Fed cut rates, the bond market ripped. This is the first time in history that the bond yields have done the exact opposite, almost in lockstep with the Fed, right? So the Fed cuts rates here, and they cut by 100 basis points, and this thing goes up about 117 basis points. So here we are wondering, like, well, what does that mean? I don't know. If this goes higher, I don't know why the Fed would continue to cut rates or justify cutting rates. all it's going to make is everything worse. If mortgage rates go up, buying a car, financing anything, it's all going to get more expensive. So this is a big deal. And meanwhile, we're looking at the dollar index and wondering what's going on with the dollar. There's still a lot of indecision here, um, but I could see, if the dollar gets weaker, maybe a little bit of relief in the markets, and we still see a bit of stronger move. But the one safe trade this year has been gold. I mean, gold continues to be pretty resilient. It broke these all-time highs in January and has continued to break higher. I mean, gold is up to a fresh high of around 5.5% higher. Gold is outpacing the S&P right now. Gold last year outperformed the S&P last year. Pretty impressive. Bitcoin. I mean, I think I'm going to change this channel, but I like this resistance and this support. So if Bitcoin is just going to be this slow burn, I like this area to buy again and trade the range from like 90, it's like 91,000 up to like 107. I mean, if you're looking at like trading this, you can trade the range and kind of invest. I'm more of a long term, and so I mean, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm up $37,000 on IBIT, and a lot of that's because I was accumulating all of last year after this run up. So we had the ETF announced, we had this big run up here, and then a big accumulation. And so every low got a trend line break, added at the breakout. I mean, I traded this thing as technical as I could, and that explosive move post election. Now we're sitting here with some consolidation again. So I'm hoping that this is just more consolidation, and I can continue to add some positions. I put in an income trade this week with a potential assignment down around $40. I'm taking like 66 cents credit, and I'm willing to take shares at like $41 or $42. But my break even is down here. So hopefully it's just consolidation. Nice part is if we make another high, then I've got some more profit lined up with Bitcoin. MicroStrategy, a bit more volatile. We'll see what happens here. Coinbase, this one has earnings. You know what? I want to price this one out real quick. Let's see here. Maybe through the 28th, maybe a bit longer. Let me take a quick peek here. Let's go to Coinbase. So this one is earnings tomorrow. Is it aftermarket? Aftermarket. Okay. So Coinbase tomorrow aftermarket. See a nice level at the 300 zone. Okay, it's not too bad. Let me check on something really quickly. Let me look at some flow data. Try to find some coin. Really? Nothing on coin, huh? I don't have any big fat premium buys on coin. Nothing on Coinbase. Interesting. Huh. Well, okay. But 300 seems like a pretty good spot. Okay. Anyway, let me get this one priced out. Coin. Expect to move around 11%. I'm going to go conservatively say 10%. So 10%. We have a 14, 13, 14, 15, 12, 11, 9, 11, 8, 8, and 11. So I'm going to go 10% on the average earnings print. Stock price is 275.79. So I'm looking for a 27.57 move. Market makers on Coinbase. Looking for, come on, I can't get a plus minus on market makers here. 21. Okay, so I'm looking at a $21 move by market makers. I'm looking at an average earnings around 27. If I go out to next week's monthly expiration, 27 by 27. Okay, let me see how many times I get to 10% over the last few earnings prints. So I'm looking for 13 days out. That'd be 9 days out. So we've got it hits, it doesn't, it does, it does. Actually, day 8 it does. Okay, it does day 13. It does day 8. It does day 1. It does not. It does day 13. It does day 13. Does immediately. Does not. Does not. Does. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 instances of it hitting the expected move and 4 without. So 11 times it does, 4 times it does not. To be safe, I probably have to go out a little bit farther. We're trading at 275. If I buy the 277, buy the 272, split the difference. Let me look at like a $20 to $25 move. Let's go 300. We get a bid ask there. There we go. And 272. So that's $22. I'm going to go to 250 here. So for 16.58, $20 to $21 move or a $27 move, I'm capping myself at $22.50. I don't like that return to risk. So is it worth it if I did something a little bit cheaper, like a 295 by 297? That's up about $22.50. Darn it, I'd have to go this one. So for $1.83, nope, I don't like it. I think the premiums are just too high. I don't like the trade. Otherwise, that's $5 potential downside, and this one could be, that'd have to be a $25 move. I don't know. It's possible, but I think I'm going to hold off on this one. I've got some ratio spreads and income trades. I just don't like the way it's priced out. I think the premiums are a little bit high, and that's it. So looking for about a $21 to $27 move on Coinbase. All right, moving on. And what are their earnings this week? So inflation data printed. Got it. Got it. Got it. All right, what else? DraftKings, Moderna, DDOG, Robinhood. Let's take a look at a couple other ones here. DDOG, Datadog, $147. A lot of consolidation here. Not super sensitive for earnings, but sensitive enough to see it's worth trading. So we do have a nice little coil looking for a volatility expansion. Let me price out this one. DDOG. On average, an 8, I'm going to go 9%. So 0.09 times 146. So about a $13 move. Market makers. Come on, option chain. Market makers out to the monthly expiration looking for, sheesh, just a little on the slow side today. So Ivy rank 51.9, IVX 77, about a $14 move. This one might be doable. $15 move right here. I'm looking for about a $13 move on earnings. So as long as I can price this 148 by 146, sell 10 wide, maybe go 12 wide, and go 12 wide. So 148 to 160, down to 134. Get a bid price there. Come on. Fill in the blanks. Okay. So this isn't a bad play here. I'm looking for a $14 move, $13 on earnings, $14 to $15 move on market makers before I take the trade. How often have we gotten there? I'm looking for at least a 9% move. So let's test the numbers. See if this is worthy of a trade. Looking for 9%. Did not get there. Did not get there. Okay. Gets there. Day 13 is my least favorite, but it still gets there. This one does not. This one does. 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 Not bad. Okay. I mean, I've got right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 times it gets the expected move and 4 times it does not. So probability is, again, pretty decent. I'm going to take this trade. So 148 by 146, sell 12 wide. Let me go 17 wide. Let me see what it costs me to go a little bit wider. If I go to 162, what is that? $14.50. So a little bit more profit potential here. 146 to 132, that's a $12 move. 148 to 162 is a $14 move. I think I'll just go 12 and 12. 14 and 12.50. So pay $9 to max out around 12. Fudge, I don't like that trade. Dadgummit. Didn't think it was bad. I just don't want to cap myself. If we get a $14 to $16 move, I don't want to cap that upside. So there's a $17 move. So I pay $10.50 for a trade that hopefully has the ability to move, $13 to $15. But the issue with this one is if it moves $13, then, moving $13 does not make me a ton of profit on this. It makes me $2.50. So overall, I'm not super excited about that trade. Fudge. All right, so I'll look at like a $13 to $16 move. I'm not gonna. I also like this is like a volatility expansion. So if we're going anywhere, it's like getting some momentum here, building up a position. I just don't know if we're gonna blow this high off or stay like sideways within this candle. Everything for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 candles inside of this swing. We've been trading a lot inside that swing. So how high is that candle high? Let's find out. That is a 153, and that is a 137. So I don't know. I think I'm just going to sit on the sidelines for right now. It's not crazy sensitive. I wish it was a bit more. But let me check out Robinhood. This will be the last one that I price in. Did Reddit already have earnings? They have earnings today after market. Yeah, Reddit. But this is the problem with Reddit. They already had a volatility expansion. So that rip and this level, it's already made its run. So this was better off on either, this area back here, getting long over like a 30 to 60 day window, or we're going to start to light up in here. That was another volatility expansion. So making that run, I mean, Reddit typically has some sensitivity. It actually did not get into my filter. So I'm looking for like which one have pretty good earnings sensitivity, and Reddit did not cut it. Didn't cut the mustard. But here's Robinhood, kind of the same deal here. They already had a big volatility expansion. So this indecision to that rip, Robinhood, for better for worse, I think this momentum wanes. So even if we go to the upside, I think we fade that move. Robinhood is now expensive enough that I might be interested in. I saw that Robinhood is doing a lot of option trading in the UK now, so maybe even considering some ownership. This is a pretty remarkable comeback story, to be honest. After everything happened with Melvin Capital and Robinhood and Citadel back in 2021, I thought this company has lost all of its user base. And look, I'm a serious trader. I had Robinhood for like the kind of the gamified version of like trading on my phone, and really convenient, really aesthetically pleasing. And as soon as I was getting locked out of my account during that GameStop crap, I'm like, I'm done. Like I'm not dealing with that nonsense. So Tasty Trade, stayed open that entire time. I think there were some outages in Schwab and Thinkorswim, but Robinhood looked really bad, and they had egg on their face that entire time. So it was enough for me to say good riddance. But anyway, we're trading at 55. I don't know what the IV is on Robinhood, but I'm going to look at it. 66.4. That's not bad. Could I do something back here in the 200 moving average zone? $30. Yes, no, maybe. $44 to $64 or 44 to 64 days. How much can I get for a put? Maybe I'll line up some cash secured puts. High probability of profit. So let me see what the premiums are offering. Ivy's okay. Ivy's okay. Coinbase. Let me see. How much would it cost me? One more trade on Coinbase. It's probably not cheap. A $300 call option. Give me a bid price so I can pay $685. I mean, the best trade is going to be actually. You know what? Let me just do this. I'm going to go debit spread. If we go up on Coinbase, let's see here if we have a reaction. So, problem is earnings is coming in soon, right? Coinbase earnings, I believe, are today. I've got a nice liquidity level at 300 that I'd like to see if price can get to. It's pretty cheap for this monthly expiration. I can pay for this for $1.07 and make $1.50. Not a bad trade. This one I pay $1.18. I pay $1.15, 20. Earnings is tomorrow after market. So do I like this trade enough to take this? 275 by 277, $1.13 to make $1.37. It's not bad. Okay, I'm going to take this trade here. Let's see what happens. 275. All right, I'm going to get this trade. So $1.13 to make $1.30 and change. Coinbase, go back to the chart. We've got a good setup. Moving into 300. Hopefully a nice little pop to the upside would be good. There's still time in the trade. I might be willing to hang on to this a little bit longer or just, wait. So we'll see. Do I like the trade? 112. This is out for Friday. That's kind of instant profits. Question is, do we get there? Do we get there? Do we get there? Yes, no, maybe. I'm going to go out one more week to be safe. I don't want that immediate. I'm going to go out to the 21st. That one cost me $1.10 to make $1.40. I'm going to take this trade. All right, 275 by 277.50. $1.10 not filling. I'll go penny by penny until I get filled. Hopefully we're getting filled for less than $1.20. Got filled for $1.13. All right, this trade's going out real quick. New trade. Coin 221 expiration. Buy the 275, call, sell the 277.50, call $1.13 debit, 2.50 max profit. Earnings catalyst on 213 aftermarket close. $300 liquidity level. An expected move of $27. Okay, that trade's in. So I'm going to add that into my news breakers. All right, service is getting that alert. Today is the 12th. 221 expiration. Buy the 275 call. Sell the 277.50 call. $1.13 debit. All right, that is about going to do it today. Coinbase, I'm going to put in here the two. All right, that's it. We'll see what we get. Okay, what else? Japanese yen, crazy change in the last 3 days. Really crazy change, actually. So I still have a futures contract. I'm still long FXY. Neither one of those looking good right now, but they're, the Japanese yen futures is out to September. We'll see what happens there. FXY still owns some shares, no big deal. DAX is continuing up to its all-time highs again. I don't really know what to say outside of I hope you're holding the DAX long. FTSE also making all-time highs. Like, we are getting an outperformance here that is, look, UK is outperforming the US. Germany's outperforming the US. China's outperforming the US. I mean, it's not a surprise. This is what happens when we have a 3 standard deviation outperformance by the US and people are looking to put money in a value position. If you want more upside potential, you don't go and buy the most expensive stuff. Now, granted, we have like high quality stocks and high quality companies that make good money and have strong fundamentals, but all in all, I mean, you typically have lackluster performance and mediocre returns when you're buying at high valuations. So you can see that like money is going elsewhere. And yeah, it's interesting though. I mean, China, really nice comeback since these lows in January. DAX, same thing. FTSE, same thing. Here's Brazil. Brazil's looking pretty good off these lows. I mean, Mag 7's not killing it. They're not crushed too badly, but Apple is, down for the year essentially. Amazon still kind of sideways. I'm looking to see if this gets below 222 by, I think it's next week, or maybe it's this week. I think it might be a 214 expiration. I probably should have went out to next Friday. Google still a little bit lower. I did some dollar cost averaging on Google. Meta still eking out all-time highs. I'm waiting for a pullback on this, and I could be waiting a long time, but I think Meta's going to have a pullback. Microsoft, pretty good support. I took a little chunk here at 416. Netflix, son of a bee. Netflix is only a couple weeks away from my broke wing butterfly. I would like to see this trade do a little bit better. So I'm down 120 bucks right now. Max risk is 1,000. I got to be dead wrong at 1040 or higher. So I'm just going to sit on it right now, but 1040 is my pin price. Got a little bit of wiggle room right there, but I'd like to see this stock not keep making all-time highs. Even though I do have some wiggle room, I still want to see this stock release a little bit of this like built-up bullishness and blow the top off and then fade a little bit. That'd be nice. Nvidia 131. I'd like to see if this can go back and fill this gap. Speaking of Nvidia, let me check on one trade real quick before the close. Coming in hot. Nvidia 126 by 130. What is this? That's a ratio spread. 126 by 130. Trading for. What the heck did I get in this trade for? So 126 by 130, 11 and 9. I think I got into it for like $1.70 something. 11 minus 9.22, $1.78. And what? I mean, there's time in the trade, but if it was up $1, I'd take $1. My max profit's 4. I just need a little bit more time, I suppose. That's frustrating. Yeah, I'm not going to take profit. I'm going to wait. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. Covered call. I'm just going to keep rolling those dividend stocks. MO. It's fine. All right. Closing bell. All right, closing bell. Till the tape. We have the S&P down 1/3, 1%. NASDAQ down. Actually, somehow the NASDAQ carved out a squeaky little gain today. Let me float this out here. QQQ. Did we end up filling the gap today? We sure did. Look at that thing. What a move. What a fake out. Big gap to the downside from 528 all the way down to 522, and we pulled back all day long. So Q's eked out a little win. Dow down about 0.56%. Russell down almost 1%. Volatility up on the day. VIX one day up a lot, up 12% and change. SPXY didn't move enough. Dollar index still wondering when this chop is going to either push down to 106, 105.50, or we start seeing dollar strength. Oil, lots of indecision. I closed out an iron condor on my CL positions here, which I'm happy. I took most of the profit. I think I took a 20-cent credit, closed it out for 13 cents, took some profit. NG, UNG, I'm long UNG. This one's looking pretty good. Gold, still holding shares of GLD. Silver, I'd like to see just fresh highs on silver, holding shares of SLV covered above. Bitcoin, still looking to buy some lows in the 91,000. Watching MicroStrategy. Copper, this is what I said, copper in China. I've got a ratio spread here. It's actually like a 1-1-1 trade. Got $160 income on copper. And let's go /HG. There it is. So right now copper's up about $200. And I've got I've got everyone in on the action. So should be a little play of, I don't know, maybe $1,000 or so, maybe a couple $1,000. But I said if China's getting some bullishness, copper's probably going to follow. So it's looking pretty good so far. And as I mentioned, non-U.S. stocks are doing well. China's doing well. UK's doing well. Germany's doing well. Those indexes are doing well. China stocks are doing okay. I wouldn't go hog wild and throw a whole crazy basket of China stocks in, but the stocks that I've been tracking and watching the closest over the last 6 to 12 months are starting to prove worth the wait. So that's pretty much it. CQQQ is okay. Alibaba, Baidu, FXI, KWeb, MCHI, and JD. That's pretty much my China basket right there, and it's doing fine. So, all right, I'm gonna let you go. I actually have to get on the road. Okay, thanks everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.